Hi everyone, author Brendalyn here, and welcome back to my channel. If this is your first time here, my name is author Brendalyn Mantianor. I am a Canadian author of children's books as well as an upcoming Christian fantasy novel. Today, I will be talking about the perks of being a teacher as well as an author. Before we start, make sure to hit that like button as well as the bell notification button so that you don't miss any other videos just like this one. I am teaching in the elementary level, and my classroom is a grade 6 class, French American school, so my students are learning everything in both English and in French, hence why I am very outspoken about publishing my books in both languages. And along the way, I have noticed that when I tell my students that I am an author, these are the things that I've been noticing that have been the 5 top perks or reasons of being a teacher and an author at the same time. So to start off with number 1, there is the instant connection. They don't know you yet. They're getting to know you. And when you share about yourself, things you like to do, and then you let out that you are an author, it makes a lot of eyes raise, not in a negative way, but in a way that they're saying, you're an author? You write books that actually go into the real world? And that's fascinating to children because students themselves really like writing books, or they really love reading books, especially maybe in comics or graphic novels. So when they find out that their teacher writes books, it is really intriguing to them. I personally find that there is a great connection when you tell your students that you are an author and you show them your books in the classroom. It just really emphasizes that you are not only their teacher, but you are an advocate for writing and reading books that they can easily do themselves one day, and also witness you being an author and also have your books in hand. Another amazing way to connect with your students is to read your book to them. And so they are really getting to know you in the way you write your books, in the way you portray your books. And it's really awesome to be connecting with your students that way. They're not just readers now, they are your students who are reading your books. And that's a great way to get to know your teacher. I'm actually gonna vlog this part, and I'm just gonna show what I did on the first day of school. I made sure to have, whoops, almost fell. I made sure to have my books out here so that my students can see them on the first day. I also made sure to have other books, of course, to show that I really love books. My book is over here, yes, in the corner, so I can make space for other books. And yeah, so when the students saw those books, they had no idea that they were my books until I told them. And so they were like, wait, I saw that book. Is that you? They had to check the name on the book, see it was actually me, and it was really intriguing for them. So that would be a great way to connect with your students in showing your book. And you will see in the room those who are really intrigued and who love writing books of their own. Because I always ask a follow-up question when I share about myself. I said, who likes books? Who likes writing books? And then you see the hands up, and those are the ones that are going to come to you and that's when your next book is coming out, some advice that you may give them. And it's such an inspiring time to connect with your students that way. Okay, let's go to the second perk, I guess. Number 2 is that you pique their curiosity. What I've definitely noticed is that it piques students' curiosity. I always have students asking me, ma'am, so is it a lot of work when you make your books? What are the steps you have to do to get your books? Are there any challenges? Is it worth it? Is it hard? Is it fun? And those are the questions I always love answering because it shows that they are curious enough to want to get an answer, and what they will do with the answer they get is even amazing in itself. And so we are now learning narrative writing. We're going through narrative elements, story elements, and they are so excited to write their own short story because they want to express themselves that way and show their curiosity and hopefully one day maybe write their own books. Some kids have told me that they're writing their own stories and they love writing and they hope to have a novel one day or a children's book. And it is really great to have someone as an example to show them that it's really possible. And I'm really blessed in that way to let my students know that I'm an author. And as many questions as they have, as long as it's the appropriate time, I'm always open to answer questions. Third perk I will say is that you are a source. Not just a source, but a primary source. If they ever want to write a book one day in the future, or they're working on a comic book, and anyone tells them, why are you doing that? You're wasting your time. They can say, no, I'm not. My teacher is an author. I know an author. She was able to do it. She says I can do it. So I'm going to continue working on my story or my comic strip. And that is something so encouraging that you can do for your students, to be an example for them so that they know that they can do it too. Encourage them that if that's something they're passionate about, that they should go for it. They shouldn't feel forced. They shouldn't feel that there is an obligation that I must do it. But if they genuinely love writing books, comics, scripts, just expressing themselves, and they want to do it, no one should tell them they can't. Number 4, I would say, is a very important part, and that is it enhances their love for reading and writing. So reading and writing go together. You can love writing so much, but you have to know how sequences go, the logic, organization of your thoughts. And when you read stories, those are great examples to do so. And if you don't like reading too much, or you may struggle in reading, you may sometimes miss the little strategies or the modules that are in books for your writing. So the two go together. And when you are an author and they're a teacher, and I'm not saying use your book always as an example, no, but when you take a book, they know you see it in a different lens. And then you open your students to also see it in a different lens as well. And then they become more intrigued to read so they can write, and to write so that they can read their stories or their friends' stories. And that is powerful. In grade 6, they're going to have provincial exams. And so we're working really hard to make sure that they are getting the right tools that they need for their writing. And it could be in journal writing, a narrative writing, but writing in itself is really important. And it is very important to keep practicing the reading skills. And so my students always read and they always write, both English and French. I believe that they really like writing. And like I said before, they're excited to write their stories, and I'm personally excited to read it too. And so enhancing those two skills as a teacher and an author is a really proud thing. The last and 5th perk I'll say is that you are an inspiration. Not only are you an inspirational figure for your students, but you can push a student who maybe didn't believe in themselves in writing a book, in writing a story, a script, a comic, play, a poem. And when they saw that you were able to do it, you motivated them, you pushed them to also make it. I really like that every time I'm sharing my stories with my kids, or I'm giving them a little sneak peek of my story, that they're so intrigued, that they're pumped, like you literally have fans. And I'm not an author to get fans, but I am an author to connect with people. And I love connecting with students, even if I weren't an author. And so connecting with their hearts through books is even a bigger blessing for me. And I'm really glad that I can do that, not only in teaching by reaching them, but I can also do that through a book. So, to anyone who loves writing stories, poems, plays, or comic scripts, this message is for you. You can do it. If you have the passion, if you have the drive, I believe you can do it. So push, go ahead, and you will make it. I don't think my students would be happy if I did not include this, but hello grade 6ers. I'm giving you guys a shout out. Thank you for being inspired. Those who love writing books, keep writing, and we're gonna keep having fun this year. If you're inspired by this video, or you liked it, or you know someone who would benefit from this video, please share it with them. Make sure to like this video as well as hit the bell notification button so that you don't miss the next videos that will be coming out. So before I continue, here is an author spotlight shout out. But what is author spotlights? It's a project where I help other authors by featuring them in their books on social media, giving them a review, a blog, an interview online, as well as a YouTube shout out. So without further ado, here are the author spotlights of summer 2021. If you are interested, make sure to sign up below so that you have a chance to be featured on Author Spotlights. I have an upcoming Christian fantasy novel that is now in the editing process, and I'm really excited about that because in the near spring 2022, my book will be on the shelf. And so my students have had a half sneak peek of chapter 1, and they are asking me, when is it coming out? I'm really excited about that, and I'm going to keep working on that because it's a lot of work to do a novel compared to a children's book, and I've noticed that. But nonetheless, I feel blessed, and I am so excited and thrilled that I get to keep learning as I am on my author journey. So I hope you enjoyed my 5 perks of being a teacher and an author. I will see you next time on my next video, and have a blessed day or night, whatever time it is. Stay blessed and see you soon. Bye.